Hope you had a great weekend. I've got my Dungeons and Dragons hat on. It's one of my favorite hats. Let's talk about Opendoor. Did you hear what happened with Opendoor? I had my friend Nick Baldwin send this over to me and Mark Benson. He's like, dude, check this out. So I dove deep into it. They just got fined $62 million. Why is it important to you? Well, we want to be careful the companies that we hire, and when we're looking at hiring any company for real estate, we also want to make sure that we're looking at other options as well. So don't just stick to one. Same thing when you're trying to hire a real estate agent or a brokerage. See if you can interview more than one. Now, let's dig into this because there's a lot to this. And of course, there are two sides to this. And I've got three articles for you. One is from the FTC directly, one's from the New York Times, and one's from Opendoor. So you can see exactly what happens. Here it is. Home buying firm settles deceptive marketing claims for $62 million. This is one from New York Times. So if you scroll down, I'll read this to you. It says Opendoor Labs, an online home buying platform, if you didn't know that they were that, well, they are, agreed on Monday to pay $62 million to the Federal Trade Commission to settle claims that it used misleading marketing practices. And I'll show you exactly what the FTC said about those. To persuade people to sell their homes on the site. Now, this is what the company claims. A company which claims it allows homeowners to sell their homes more quickly than through a broker, deceived customers into offering their properties to Opendoor for less than they would have made on the market. The FTC said Monday in a news release, which I'll show you. The agency said Opendoor had presented home sellers with charts that showed they would make thousands of dollars more by selling their properties on the platform compared with the traditional marketplace. Now, is it really a surprise that there are companies out there that would do this? I mean, unfortunately not. So just be careful, but let's dig into this part. So that's the end of that article. I want to show you what the FTC said because that gets pretty straightforward. There's no mincing words here. This is directly from the Federal Trade Commission. Look at the top left. They say FTC takes action to stop online home buying firm Opendoor Labs from cheating potential sellers with misleading claims about its home buying services. And check it out. They break it down for us right here. It says, let me zoom in because it might be too small for you if you're coming in because it's a little bit small. There it is. It says, the agency's investigations found that Opendoor also violated the law by misrepresenting that, these four things, misrepresenting that Opendoor used projected market value prices when making offers to buy homes, when in fact those prices included downward adjustments to the market values. That's pretty nasty right there. Opendoor made money from disclosed fees, right? Misrepresenting that. Remember that. Misrepresenting up here. That. Opendoor made money from disclosed fees when in reality, it made money by buying low and selling high. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a flipper to me, right? So no surprise there either. Consumers likely would have paid the same amount in repair costs whether they sold their home through Opendoor or traditional sales, right? That's what they're misrepresenting. And of course, they were pushing that before, I remember. And then the last one, misrepresenting that consumers likely would have paid less in costs by selling to Opendoor than they would have paid in traditional sales. So that's messed up. Here's what it was. They have to pay now $62 million, which is expected to be used for consumer redress, which is great. Now they have to stop deceiving potential home sellers, right, with unsubstantiated claims it made to the consumer about how much money they will receive or the costs they will have to pay to use its services. And then lastly, this was important. The commission's vote to accept the consent agreement was 5-0, so not even close. They're like, hey, look, from everything we're looking at, guess what? It looks bad. So here's what Opendoor Statement said. They pretty much said that, hey, look, we don't agree with it, but we want to get it over with. And then they added, which is an interesting thing, they added, by the way, look, we don't agree with this, but the allegations raised by the FTC are related to activities that occurred between 2017 and 2019 and target marketing messages the company modified years ago. They said, importantly, check that out. It says, hey, you know what? We don't agree with it, but by the way, even so, we did this a while ago, like 2017, 2019, which to me says, dude, you didn't even take it seriously then. That's crazy. Said, hey, we don't agree with this. We just kind of put it under the rug. So look, when you're hiring a company, when you're looking at companies out there to do business with, make sure that you interview more than one and you talk to at least, I always say 3. And then take a look at the details, because stuff like this is going to continue to happen. You're going to be deceived. We're going to be deceived. And make sure that you just blast them when you find out, because this should never be happening at all. Anyway, that's it. That's the news for the day. I thought it was important enough for you to take a look at this. And yes, I'll put up the links. The New York Times article, though, is behind a paid wall, so you may not be able to read it. But other than that, everything else is open. It'll be on the YouTube channel. Have an awesome day.